What is good, YouTube? My name is Velikan. In this video, we are taking a look at the tier 7 relics for Leagues 5, starting with Pocket Kingdom. Upon choosing this relic, you will receive the Pocket Kingdom. This item allows full access to managing miscellanea from anywhere. So that means you do not need Fremenic. You can just, have it in your pocket. Very nice. Workers will work for 50% less coins, always have max appeal, produce twice as many resources, and accrue resources every hour instead of every day. You can get herbs, fish, coal, maples, hardwood logs, and seeds through your kingdom. I feel by far the biggest help here are the seeds, but if you're in it for the seeds, I would tell you to pick Overgrown instead. You do need allotment and herb patches for Overgrown, so that might be where Kingdom comes in clutch. I also think that the hardwoods specifically are kind of interesting for construction. For both Overgrown and Kingdom, it may help you if you didn't pick Friendly Forager in Tier 2. What I'm saying is both these relics kind of help your herb lore, right? Hardwood logs may help your construction, I already mentioned that. It does take a relatively large sum of money. It's not impossible to supply this money at all, but still it's something you need to consider. So we're looking at 900k GP per day, or per 24 hours, I should say. Perhaps if you aren't online as much, Pocket Kingdom will outvalue Overgrown, as Overgrown needs you to be logged in. At the same time, Tier 7 is relatively late, so how much are you going to benefit from it if you haven't been playing much to begin with? So I'm not trying to diss anyone here, it's just something you need to talk about with yourself or friends. So a guy named Steven on Discord actually posted some numbers. I hope he's correct, otherwise everything I'm going to say is wrong. So he did calculate at 10 workers, but we're getting 15. So you should add 50% to everything here. Normal logs, I would say not that interesting. If you're looking to fletch and fire make, you're probably using different logs. But still, you're able to get at least, 1200 times 1.5. So we're looking at 1800 logs per hour, something like that. Coal, over 1000 coal per hour, maybe. Then tuna and swordfish, I think, they're kind of whack, but I'll talk about that in a second. Cooked fish, kind of useless. Then herbs, of course. Some Tarim Harlanders, Irits, Aventoes, Ranars, Quarm, Cadentine, Dwarfweed, and Lantitine. So yes, it's only like 5 Ranars per hour. That's not a lot, but it's per hour, so you have to multiply that by 24, and also you have to multiply that by another 50%, or add another 50%. So yeah, it's not that bad, actually. Like, you're looking upwards of 100 herbs per day. So that's not too bad, actually. Then, flax. I don't know. Not that interesting. Mahogany is kind of interesting. We're looking at 450 mahogany logs per hour. So again, don't play for a day. You're stacking up that amount times 24. Not too bad. Teaks, same story. And then seeds. Apparently you get a boatload of cheap seeds. Then some Haralander, Snapegrass. We already talked about this. So Ranars, Snapdragons, where the interesting potions are at. You're not getting that many, but first of all, let's say 0.3 Snapdragon seeds per hour, right? Times 1.5x. So that's 0.4 times 24. So that's actually not too bad. The reason why I keep doing times 24 is because if you're not going to be online as much, I think that's a better way to view things. Looking at your kingdom every hour, I don't know if that's going to be a satisfying way to play, but maybe every day could be interesting. Then, for some skills, it actually looks like a lot of resources. It gives a lot of resources in a relatively short amount of time, so that's interesting. Some resources, perhaps, are not that good. So tuna, swordfish, I don't know about that. Maples, I don't know about that. Primarily, I would be looking for the hardwoods, so mahogany and teaks, and also the herbs. The seeds, I am not too certain about. So what I'm saying is I am not comfortable picking Pocket Kingdom thinking it solves farming primarily and herb lore secondarily. That said, I would pick it if you don't have enough allotments and herb patches in your areas. So wilderness comes to mind, desert comes to mind, Tyrannoin comes to mind, right? Then the Grimoire. Upon choosing this relic, you will receive the Arcane Grimoire. This item can be used to freely swap between spellbooks. The Grimoire acts as a Book of the Dead. Additionally, when you select this relic, you will unlock access to all prayer and spells, regardless of area, quest, or diary requirement. That is kind of cool. This opens up Ancients for non-desert users. Desert, I should say. Desert is something different. This is kind of nice at Sire, I guess. If you don't go Desert, you can still kill Sire. Even without Ancients, Sire is killable, but grinding him out is kind of ass. Actually, grinding the Sire out is kind of ass even with Ancients, but still. Don't pick Grimoire just for that. Sire sucks in my opinion, and perhaps it's not that many points. I haven't checked the task list. Check it yourself. You can get by, and you can even get Dragon Cup without touching Sire, like even once. So you don't do that just for Sire. It also gives Augury and Rigor for non-Zaya goers. This is decent. I am not going over all the calcs. Actually, let me forward to Piety first. It gives Piety for non-Canarin goers, so that's practically everyone, so that's decent too. To put things into perspective, Piety, it's not insane, but it beats Torva, right, in terms of DPS increase. So I'm not going to go over the exact DPS increase of Piety, Augury, and Rigor. The reason why is because Grimoire is up against skilling relics. So if you're chasing DPS, Grimoire is your answer. If you are not looking to chase DPS, then Grimoire is maybe not that good. If you're looking for a generous guesstimate, I would say Piety, at least, I know this from the top of my head, is anywhere between 6 and 10% increased DPS. Augury and Rigor, I don't know from the top of my head, but that's basically what you're looking at. So like about 6%, I would say. Then Thralls, not that interesting, I would say. It's a flat 0.6 DPS, not that much, especially not in leagues. It's actually pretty big in the main game, don't get me wrong. The Arceus Spellbook does have some interesting spells like Death Charge and Sinister Offering. Death Charge helps your spec weapon whenever you kill a mob, I believe. Sinister Offering helps your prayer. The reason why I don't want to get into numbers is because it's a PVM relic in a skilling tier, so there's no point. If you're looking to PVM, you just grab Grimoire, right? Then, Overgrown. Upon choosing this relic, you will receive the Leprechaun's Vault. This item can be used to access the Seed Vault from anywhere in the world. Additionally, you gain the following benefits to farming. Crops never die. When planting a seed, it has a 75% chance not to be consumed. That is really cool. And then, of course, the big thing. When a seed fully grows, if your seed vault has another seed of the same type, it will harvest the patch for you and then replant the seed. That is actually pretty damn cool. This is easily my favorite relic, so I might be biased. I'm not a fan of farming, and I specifically hate farming in leagues. So the first thing that we need to talk about is you do need allotment and herb patches to benefit from this. Without it, it's going to be useless, right? Farming is solvable in other ways. I'm thinking hardwoods in Fossil Island. If you can get your hands on these seeds there, just visit that every day for 56 days straight, and then you fix your farming. Zaya, Tithe Farm, and also Farming Guild come to mind. Tyranwin has crystal acorns. So, like, a lot of areas have some stuff that might help you with farming. I put this in mostly for memes, but maybe you're a Fairy Flight Chad with a load of herb patches and you're willing to do farm runs in Leagues. Wow. Some World of Warcraft flashback there. That's mostly for memes, though. I would not recommend picking Fairy Flight and doing farm runs in Leagues. Not at all. Overgrown ties into tier 2 relics, namely Friendly Forager, right? If you're willing to pick Overgrown here, you might open up Friendly Forager in tier 2, allowing you to pick dodgy deals and not spend reloaded on it, maybe. So that might be something you need to think about. The same thing goes for Pocket Kingdom, by the way. So, Friendly Forager, I do want to say it fixes your herb problem super early. I'm talking tier 2 versus tier 7. So there's a huge difference between the tiers in terms of time. So if you're looking for like easy early prayer potions, Overgrown is probably not going to help you unless you're rushing somehow. Then, of course, Overgrown solves both farming and herb lore probably. and it allows you to skip Friendly Forager for dodgy deals and reload it. I kind of already said this. One thing we do need to talk about, and I found this on Discord, and if the dude on Discord is wrong, I'm wrong. What it looks like is that Overgrown might give disappointing results. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a small table made in Excel, or Google actually, maybe. 24 hours of the day, herb grow time is 1.33. I think he's correct on that. That would mean if you're online 24 hours, you get 18 harvests per day. If you get 144 herbs per patch per day, which I don't know if that number is correct actually. I think it might be more. I'm not sure. But let's say 144 herbs per patch per day. You're looking at 432 herbs at 3 patches per day if you're online 24/7, right? With 56 days in leagues, you're looking at 24,000 herbs if you're online 24/7. If you're online 12 hours a day, you're looking at 12K. If you're online 8 hours a day, it's 8K. 4 hours a day, 4K. Playing 4 hours a day for 56 days straight is a lot. For some people, it won't be a problem, but for most people, it's kind of a lot, right? So let's say you're looking at maybe 2 hours a day. Then Overgrown is going to give you, throughout the entire league, if you're online every day at least, only 2,000 herbs. Don't get me wrong, 2,000 herbs is a lot. You can also pick what kind of herbs you're getting because you can just plant the seed yourself, right? So I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm trying to put things into perspective. Also, if the 144 number is wrong, this kind of changes, like a lot. Then on the right, bottom right, it also said something about experience, like stated at 80 experience per herb, coming in at only 23 mil experience. But keep in mind, you're planting more than just herbs. So I wouldn't look at that too much. I'm looking at the herbs resulting from playing 8 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 2 hours a day, right? What I'm saying here, I'm not saying Overgrown is bad. In fact, I think it's great. I think farming sucks and Overgrown is a huge quality of life relic. What I'm saying is it might give you a different amount of herbs that you would have expected. So I'm trying to put things into perspective, right? My conclusion, it looks like we're putting up farming against combat. Same thing as in Leagues 4, right? Farming versus combat relic all over again. Pocket Kingdom has some specific use cases. I don't want to if you don't want to pick Friendly Forager, but if you also do not have a lot of plots, Pocket Kingdom might come in clutch. I think it gives you a relevant amount of herbs, so that's quite nice. If you think you aren't going to be online as much, the Kingdom keeps working, so that's really, really good. I also think the Pocket Kingdom is kind of decent for construction, so that's something to keep in mind. And as much as I want to lean into Overgrown, I kind of like Pocket Kingdom now after taking a better look at it. Overgrown is nice for farming, but it's solvable without it. So there are a lot of ways to solve farming. And with even a few allotment and herb patches, you might be able to skip Friendly Forager with Overgrown, so that's kind of nice. And this kind of opens up your tier 2 relic options a little bit more. So it gives you a little bit of breathing room, not having to consider Friendly Forager that way. Keep in mind though, Friendly Forager is tier 2, Overgrown is tier 7. And then lastly, Grimoire, it's a PVM relic. It's worth considering if you're only looking to PVM and/or you have your other skills solved. So if you can fix your farming through either hardwoods, tithe farm, crystal acorns, bag plants, Friendly Forager maybe for herb lore, there's a couple of other ways too. Then maybe Grimoire is the pick for you. The same thing goes for construction. Construction isn't impossible without Pocket Kingdom, so there are definitely ways to fix it. Maybe mahogany homes, whatever. So Grimoire might be a pick for you. And yeah, I think this is a tough tier. I mean, it's not that tough. I think most people know what they want to do. But to be honest, I'm kind of looking to swap out Overgrown maybe for Pocket Kingdom. I'm not actually sure. I kind of dismissed Pocket Kingdom when I first read about it. But now looking at the numbers, I hope they're correct, by the way. If they are wrong, man, that would be pretty damn bad. But looking at the numbers, I don't know. I kind of like it. You don't have to be online the entire time. Holidays are coming. So maybe Pocket Kingdom is a lot better. Who knows? It kind of depends on your playstyle, I would say. So yeah, this is the last relic video. I squeezed them all. Let me show you actually. No, I can't show you because then I would probably dox my own name. I don't want to do that. But it's 5 minutes, 4 minutes now before 1. Leaks is gonna start in 4 minutes from now. So I'm gonna upload this video and I'm gonna be enjoying Leaks, and I'm sure you are going to do the exact same thing. Thank you for watching, and maybe see you next video actually. Bye bye.